with Pasquale.
This is why you need the iPad.
Why?
Look.
Oh. Sticky Pete.
Mr.
What am I going on?
What are you doing?
I don't know, but
why are you in Apple TV?
I opened it and it was on Apple TV. I swear, you fuck around with the buttons whilst I'm not looking. And then...
I don't think that's true. Good afternoon, you wonderful people. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Tuesday. It's not fine, is it? It's shit again.
No, it's cool.
English summer is not a summer right now.
No.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a slightly different stream. It's still the Liam Joe AoS Show. It's still the Liam Joe AoS Show, but I bought some nice fancy stools for us to sit on.
They're quite nice, actually.
So instead of sitting in the big chairs, we can sit here at the table, a little bit like a news report.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
A nude report.
A nude report.
Yeah.
Mostly because currently my, what's the word? Motivation is through the fucking roof. And I saw something recently from Mikey, Joe. We've been doing it all wrong. We can't play AoS right now because I haven't made endless spells. And I have these up the back, so
according to Mikey, you don't need Dyson and tape measure either, so I wouldn't read too much into it.
So I went out back and I bought. I found these.
Now you can play the game.
I can. You can't.
I can't.
We can't play that endless
But
spells. That's
do you
what
know
you
we
said.
have got that Mikey doesn't have?
You used to buy 3 endless spells in a box, and then you might have to buy 1 for some points. Yeah. So what you'd have to, what GW used to do was force you to buy a box of 3 to use 1 to fill some points. And now what they've said is all of them are free. You can use all of them all the time. So those endless spells that you've bought, where you weren't able to use 2 out of the 3 of them, you can now use all of them. And apparently that's bad.
Yeah, I find that really weird. It's like you've spent money, you can now use the things you've spent your money on.
Yeah, that's bad, Joe. That's bad. How dare they let us use things for free?
And but the saying that you can't play the game without having them is a bit mental.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yesterday, Games Workshop launched a brand new AoS app, hence the stream title. We'll talk about that a little bit today as well. But we thought we'd do something a little bit different. We're going to do some hobbying whilst we sit here chatting to you people, because chat's right there, as well as reading out super chats, looking at gifted memberships and building some models.
The question that you breezed over, Stick Monkey answered.
What? What?
I said, you know what? I said, you know what? Like that Mikey hasn't got.
Oh,
yeah,
an audience.
Yeah.
Well, he's here next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'd be nice about him.
So I need to message him actually because I'm like, don't bring Blood Ravens, they're boring. Bring an AoS army. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, he has got AoS stuff. So I think he should bring an
He's
AoS.
got like OCR Bone Reapers, which we don't have.
Yeah, we don't have any boner men.
So that could be
That's
cool.
a lie. We have boner men, just that I can't bother to paint them.
No, I
They're
feel like
weird
that might
little-
end up being a me army because
little-
it's very much spray, dry brush, done.
Yeah.
Kind of. Spray, wash,
Well,
dry brush. Done.
I've got 2
Herpes
death
face.
armies.
With an F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other ones are. Oh, boner men. And who's the other one?
Nighthaunt.
Nighthaunt.
There's a whole box of built Nighthaunt in my spare bedroom.
Yeah, but you said you wanted to do Nighthaunt, didn't
Fucking
you?
love Nighthaunt.
With the little coach and stuff.
Fucking love Nighthaunt. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, so we're going to be building some models today. Feel free to jump in chat, stick in your super chat, stick in your gifted memberships. I can see big chat in front of me right now, so I can read what you're saying. You wonderful people.
Yeah.
We'll try and keep up with you. But Joe and I are going to chat some nonsense about new AoS because I am firmly on the new AoS hype train.
Oh, I'm so in it right now. Just in it, around it, on it.
I even turned up and Joe was playing a 1,500 point game before I even got here.
Yeah. I love it. And I'm playing it on Sunday as well.
What did you find out about?
Oh, the big angry chariot pig thing for Iron Jaws is...
I said it was good.
It's a bit broken. It's not broken. It's just a bit turbo mental.
Hazar says, hopefully Mikey's able to perform in front of a crowd. He doesn't have much experience with that, I heard. Wow.
But we need to say some thank yous.
We
whilst
do.
He goes through the boxes. So firstly, thank you, Mr. The Stick Monkey, for 5 gifted
Thank you, Sean.
memberships.
Love you.
I hope when you go to work tomorrow, there's a micro pig in your office.
A micro pig?
Yeah, just wandering around. Who doesn't want a micro pig?
Me. I don't want a micro pig.
Thank you, Sam Deacon, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Sam. You're a hero.
I hope next time you go to McDonald's, they've got the little sticker thing that you win at free Big Mac.
I've never won anything good on those.
No?
No.
No, I've had like nuggies and a McFlurry.
I mean, that's the best for you, though, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, more free food is better. When you buy food and it comes with free food, it's a win, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ross Nero, for 20 gifted members. He's very excited for this stream where we're just going to ignore the camera and build models.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
This is me and Joe, like, we want to build some models. Oh, we've got a fucking chat as well.
Yeah, again, doing stuff, passing it off as content. But yeah, I hope, Ross Nero, that you see a plane crash. No.
Wow!
No one dies.
Strong start, Joe.
No one dies. It's like, no. And it's beautiful. It's at night time, so it's proper glowy. And then you see someone like parachute down. So everyone's fine.
I hope you see a plane crash. It's not where I thought that was going to go for 20 gifted memberships.
I've never seen one before, I feel like.
Have you not?
No.
I've seen many, but not in person.
Yeah. Thank you, Frederick Despiens. That's one letter away from another word. Thank you for the one gifted membership. Love you a long time.
Thank Frederick, you're a hero.
And thank you, Elec Man. Did you bring the Luminev book today? I feel like that's going to be a question until you do. And then what I'll do is he'll continue to super chat and give money because I won't read it. And he'll ask every day.
So I feel like because he's asking all the time right now, it kind of I'm more inclined to leave it at home.
Yeah, he's like a petulant child.
So you can keep super chatting. I'm joking, Lekman, obviously. It is on. I have started to. I did start to organise my desk yesterday at home in my office, and so I've got a couple more bits to do. And there's a pile of stuff that's going to be coming over to the studio, and the Luminous book is in that pile of stuff.
Yeah.
So it won't be long before it comes over.
Yeah.
At the point at which it comes over, I'll have completely forgotten what it was you wanted Joe to read.
Something about just the word boring over and over again.
Wow. Anyway, I'm building some endless spells so I can actually play AoS. What have you got, Joe?
I've bought Flesh Eater Quartz. A packet of fig rolls is my stand. So I can read it.
Aren't you painting some...
So I'm going to build... So I built my dragon.
I noticed, yeah.
My zombie dragon.
When Joe needs things for his armies, they get built and painted really fucking quickly.
No, that's a lie. Right? When did I get the zombie dragon? When did you get me that for me?
Yeah, and then what happened
That's
on
when
Tuesday?
we went to the zoo, wasn't it?
What happened on Tuesday was you got slapped by some big characters and you were like...
I was like, I want a big character too.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone else keeps killing me with big monsters. So I'm like, cool, I want a big monster too.
Yeah.
Right. It helps that he's not bad either.
No, evidently, no.
Yeah.
Can you take 3 of them, Joe?
No, because he's a special character.
Have you noticed there is no rule of 3 in AoS?
I know, I love it. I was talking...
You take 5... You could take 5 Dirthies.
Yeah.
It's legal.
It's silly. I was talking to Mr. Chris Frosin all weekend. Because
he subscribed to the channel yesterday.
Yeah. He's a big fan of Soulblight Gravelords. He's also doing a Soulblight Gravelord at the same time, army, so we've been talking a lot. And he, like I, are a big fan of Valkyria's Bloodborne.
He reckons he watched the game from last week 20 times.
Really?
That's what he said. He said something like that yesterday, anyway.
Or maybe he watched it for 5 minutes, came off, and then went back. And then
20 times, chap. What's your excuse?
And he's a big fan. We were talking about how the rule of 3, because there's no rule of 3. He's like, just run loads and loads of cool little units of vampires.
Well, so this is the thing, right? I'm so unused to it that when I'm list builder, so the new app came out yesterday, I started dicking around in the list builder. Actually quite good. I have some issues with it. We'll get onto that in a moment. But actually quite good. And do you know how hard it is for me to get out the habit of, I've got 3 of them, I can't have any
Well, that's
more.
why I maxed out on 3 units of 5 knights and stuff, and I've got 30 skeletons, because I'm so used to just going...
It's a really weird habit to get out of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Despite the fact it didn't used to exist in 40k.
Yeah. Derthru is not a unique question mark.
No. No, he's a named character who's not unique. Mental.
Imagine that. Thank you, John McCargo, for 20 gifted memberships.
Fuck me.
John,
Smells.
you did leave your scatter dice here, by the way. He messaged me and asked if he left it here. He had left it here.
Yeah, he rolled it before he left to see which direction he had to go.
Yeah. So when you send over your man to come and take your army away from us, then I'll give it to him and he can post it over with your Alpha Legion.
It'd be nice to know when you're going to send that man over, because also another man has sent us an Imperial Fists army to use.
Yeah.
So we can do Imperial Fists Alpha Legion soon.
Yeah. And then I need to get my Night Lords done, and then we could do Imperial Fists and Night Lords.
I had a box turn up today.
Stephen box?
No, I used for one.
Oh.
I had a box set up today, Joe, with 2 Imperial Fist characters in it from the Horsey Heresy.
The Horsey and which ones are they?
One of them is a Space Marine, and the other one is a Space Marine with a sword.
Is one Sigismund?
Yes.
And is one Alexis Pollux, the best Imperial Fist character?
I don't think so.
The Crimson Fist, he's called.
No, I don't think so. The other one, let me have a look.
Because he has a bloody fist. Thank you, Elekman says, sorry if I'm spanning, if I'm keeping the bit going on for too long. Just say so and I'll let it die. I just don't want you to forget. But I did DM you the specific pages to show off. I even sent pics.
I'll be completely brutally honest with you, Elekman. If you stop super chat, I will flat forget about it. You don't have to super chat, to be fair. You can just comment about it and I'll avoid. But you should definitely keep reminding me because I will just flat forget. I don't have a great memory with stuff like that, unfortunately.
John said he'll just come back and get it.
John, I think
John.
I can speak for myself, Joe, and chat when I say you are welcome back whenever the fuck you want, sir.
And you just bring a different army with you each time. And then we'll have all 18 legions because you just leave them here.
Where's my Forge? Oh, it's not Forge World anymore, is it? I'm looking for Forge World.
No. And thank you, Meat Squadron says, hi Dad and Daddy Joe.
Hey, Meat Squadron, how are you?
Love you
Lord
both.
Castellan Evander Garius, the Tyrant of Chthonian.
Oh, the Terminator guy.
Yeah, he's fucking gorgeous.
He's cool.
As well, by the way.
He's a traitor though, isn't he?
Is he? How's he a traitor? He's in the Loyalist Imperial Fist section, and he looks cool as shit. Look at that.
I don't know if he's a traitor or he gets in loads of trouble because he's like really brutal and does not care about his troops.
I've picked well.
Yeah, sounds like you.
I feel represented.
Yeah.
He's cool as shit. Look at him.
He is dench, as they say.
Yes.
Judy dench. So I built a vampire dragon, and so I've got the flesh eater quartz man.
You need more fig rolls, Joe.
The flesh eater quartz man to build from the back of it. But I was super duper smart and I didn't bring the instructions. So this is just going to be a guess. Nor did I bring a base.
I'm going
to make him a fancy
I'm a little bit
base.
lost. What do you mean? You have a guy from a dragon.
So basically, when you buy the zombie dragon from Games Workshop, you can either have a zombie dragon on its own.
Yeah.
His dragon is balls. And then you can have a zombie dragon with a vampire lord on it.
Yeah.
Or you can have a zombie dragon with a abhorrent,
An abhorrent, yeah.
riding on it.
Yeah.
Or you can make it a terrorgeist.
Fucking hell, there's a lot you can make out of one kit.
Yeah, but the abhorrent that goes on top of it can also be built as his own little man. So you get a free model, basically.
Well, it's not
Rare.
free, It's not free.
Yeah, well, it's not free, but it is free. So I didn't bring the instructions on how to building, so this is going to be mainly guesswork. Also, I kind of really want to match their bases to the kind of bases I've got my Soulblight Gravelords on.
Can you run like Soulblight and Flesh Eater Quartz together?
You can, because there is.
Is there like an allies matrix like 7th edition 40k?
There is no allied matrix. There are no allies. We're not friends here.
We have grand orders, right?
They are grand. So what you can do is take a regiment of renown. That's how allies work in the game now.
Reginald Renowned?
Reginald Renown, right? So in the regiments of renown, you could take Big Drog Fork Kicker, or I could take Geron's Delegation, the Scions of the Necropolis, which has got the Xerxes in it, the Lich's Hand, not to be confused with the Lychee's Hand,
Lychee's Hand?
the Sorrow Morn Choir, which has Nighthawk Lady in it,
Okay.
or the Summer King's Entourage. So the Summer King's Entourage is Usharan, one Crypt Guard unit with 10 models, and one Morberg Knights unit with 3 models.
Usharan's the big dude that Josh bought, wasn't he?
Yeah. And basically...
Did I get you him? Have you got
You
him
didn't
yet?
get him from me, no. We just got this. So all I need is Usharan, and I've got it. Because it's those guys, and Usharan, who's like a giant football just rolling around on the table.
But these are just Reginalds of Renown, aren't they?
Yeah.
So can you take the Reginald and then take other regiments from like Soulblight?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. There's the
I'm into
Sorrowmorn Choir, which is Lady Ollivander with a Dreadscythe Harridans unit, a Morn Banshees unit with 4, and a Mere Morn Banshees unit. So 2 Banshee units of 4. Lady Orlander. Basically, this is Games Workshop's really clever way of balancing allies. Instead of going, you take this, you take as many of this unit, many of this unit, just take whatever you want and put it together and just have the best of everything. They go, you can take allies, but you are fixed to what you can have. Because then if something's too powerful in it, they can do a slight change and it's fixed.
Okay.
Which I'm a big fan of. You've got the Lightsheet's Hand, which is Arkan the Black. 1 Morghast Arcani unit with 2 models, and 1 Morghast Harbangers unit with 2 models. You've got the Scions of the Necropolis, which is Catacross, the Mortarch of the Necropolis, which is Xerxes. And then 1 unit of Mortis Guard of 3, and 1 unit of Mortis Guard of 3.
Catacross is not the fucking thingy character from OCR Bone Reapers.
The really big guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Xerxes. Gerion's delegation, which is 1 Marrow Scroll Herald. He really likes marshmallows. 1 unit of 20 Crypt Ghouls, 1 unit of 3 Horrors, and 1 unit of 3 Crypt Flayers.
Are you noticing how he's getting all this up, chat, as well?
And then you've got Big Dog Fort Kicker.
On the app.
Right.
Relevant to the title. So.
I can take a Gatekeeper Mega Gargant, which I'm pretty sure is the one that we've got out there.
We have a Mega Gargant.
Right. And he can go in Iron Jaws, Cruel Boys, Bone Splitters, Goomsplight Gits, Ogre Moor Tribes, Ocearch Bane Reapers, Soulblight Gravelords, Night Haunt, and Flesh Eater Corps.
You're struggling to read and talk there, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, so he can join anyone. I really like it. I'm a big fan.
Armies, the Originals of Renown.
The Originals are renowned, yeah.
I hadn't looked. So I saw that when I downloaded the app yesterday. I saw that they were there. I hadn't looked into them yet as to what they were or how you built them. I didn't think about the fact that they were just called a regiment and therefore they probably just replaced one of your 5 regiments that you can take in your list building phase. It's fucking cool. I'm into it.
So, also, the Thanes said, just Sam has in the chat, my wish came true. He's got loads of free food from McDonald's. There we go. See? Dreams do come true. Thank you, Kazarian. Sat in a nerd meeting, so sadly cannot properly listen, but always loving AoS content. Looking forward to watching later. Yes, Sean, the agile coach is in a call and being
Infuriating.
infuriated.
Just use your words, Joe. Just read it.
No.
Thanks, Kaz.
Thank you, Kaz.
So that app is actually decent. I've got a couple of minor issues with it.
Yeah?
And one of them is one that I don't think people will be expecting. My main issue with it, which I think people will be expecting, is, because I spoke about it a little bit briefly last night, is the lack of a battle bunker.
Yeah.
And it was being discussed in the Thanes this morning as to why that feature hasn't been implemented yet. It's to do with how software developers work and blah, blah, blah. And more,
Slow and lazy.
Yeah, more boring words.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. It was in 40k. To not have it in AoS feels like it's a step in the wrong direction. I get from a workflow perspective and a software development perspective perhaps why that exists. It doesn't mean I have to like it. Battle Bunker is one of the most useful features in the 10th edition app. Build your army worthy of Mordor. Put all the selections in, go to Battle Bunker, shows all the rules you need, all the stratagems you have access to.
What I would have liked to have seen.
Your own penis.
I can see it right now. Always out.
Always bottom half naked.
Yeah. It's a great thing about doing this newscasting style.
He hates the old Liam Joe. He's like, I'll put trousers on.
Yeah. I'd like to see a gaming, what's it called? A scoring app part of it. What's it called? The thing. What's it called? When you play a game and you put your stuff
Like
in.
BCP?
Yeah.
Or like the one that Goonhammer made?
Oh, yeah, Battle Apps, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, ITC Battles.
Yeah, so because there's less secondaries, there's literally 2 per faction and then 6 universals, right? And then you've got to put the deployments and stuff in, and that's it, yeah.
Joe, if little old Bridger can make us a scoreboard that includes all the secondaries, all the primaries, all the missions, all the deployment maps, a multi-million-pound company can definitely do the same thing and put it into an app. They just haven't yet.
Yeah, because the battle apps, the ICC battle apps has now got a gaming aid for AoS 4 on it already.
Has it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Tabletop Battles, that's the one.
Tabletop Battles. It used to be called ICC Battles. Or
Yeah.
ICC. So the new AoS app dropped yesterday, and I went. Well, I couldn't find it. So to start with, you might.
You put AoS in, it just goes old.
Yeah, here's the 2 old apps because we decided to bring out a new app for every fucking edition near enough.
Yeah.
So to start with, I couldn't find it. Someone helpfully in the Thanes linked me directly to it, and they had to go to the Games Workshop app developer page and then find the AoS app, and then I finally got to download it.
If you go to the website on Warcom,
there a link?
it just links you straight from the Warcom page.
So I finally got my hands on it. I opened it up and I started dicking around with list building because why not? And it's 10th edition app reskinned for AoS essentially. My main issue is that there's no battle bunker. My second issue is that there seems to be 8 million drop downs to get to things. You have to press a drop down to press a drop down to then press a drop down to finally read your rule. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
There's a lot more drop downs than the AoS one.
Yeah, it didn't need a drop down. So I understand why the drop downs exist, because by not having them there, you have to scroll really far to find what you need. Whereas by having lots of drop downs, you go, I don't need that rule, I just want to find out what that specific one is, and so you don't have to scroll as far. But it is annoying.
It's really fucking annoying, I think. Maybe I'm just being fussy here, to be fair, but I think it's really annoying.
My only issue with it, really, is the fact that the legend. No, so I'm not upset that legends are in it. All right, I'm upset
I wondered how long it'd take you to bring up
that
legends.
there's no legends on 40k. But my issue is that when you scroll through your army to select which ones to put into your army list, it doesn't tell you what's legends until you click on it.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with that specific army, you don't know what units exist before. If you've never played AoS before and you're going through and you go, I'll put that in there, put that in, then put that in, and then you go, I'm going to go and buy them. Oh, I can't get hold of it from the Games Workshop website. Why is this thing not available to me? And then you go, oh, I've got to buy it off eBay or somewhere. So you only know it's Legends by when you're actually clicking onto its actual page and going in and looking at it. It's not a data slate, is it? A war
Scroll. Use the correct language.
Well, that's why I said it's not a data slate.
Or Mr. The James Workshop gets upset with people.
No. So,
I have no problem. So this.
No, I'm really happy that the Legends stuff's on it, because I can use stuff that I've got from before.
This happened. This came up last night because people were like, "Oh, Liam's going to go ranting about Legends." I'm actually not going to go ranting about Legends at all. I am not surprised in the slightest that Legends exist in the AoS app and they don't exist in the 40k app. And someone, I think this might have been in the Thanes as well, actually. Someone said, "Oh, it just proves the 40k team is lazy." I think differently, actually. I don't think it's got anything to do with laziness. I personally think there's a specific reason why Legends exists in one and not in the other. And it's really simple.
Is it laziness?
Huh?
Laziness.
And it's not laziness. It's really simple as to why. And I asked you this question before. You didn't seem to know the answer, but it was in the article. You can't use Legends in 40k in match play.
No.
You can use Legends in AoS in match play for the next 12 months.
Yeah. Oh, I see. You've
Gave you your one back.
No.
Yes.
So what I did is I emptied because basically in this one, the tip of the brush doesn't actually go into the glue.
You just have to shake the pot.
It's just really fun. It's really annoying, because what happens when you shake it, the middle stays exactly where it is and it goes up the side. It's not helpful.
Shake it harder.
No.
Shake it real
Glad
good.
it's placed to the ground. He treats me so badly, people. I get nothing. He shouts at me all the time. Like, it's just a hostile work environment.
Yeah, there'll be a job application spot coming up soon, people.
Yeah.
Joe's placement's done.
Yeah. Who would you hire instead? You need to find someone that knows the rules and can paint. And so far, that's not anyone on this channel.
It's not strong, is it? It's not. No, touche. Evan, thank you for one gifted.
I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now.
Does that mean you're going to take us all out for dinner this time?
No. 'Cause no one sends me money from from the YouTubes. They just go, buy models, Joe. They go, buy a house, Joe. That's what they need to do. If they cared. They really cared. I hate this place. Man. He's a cool money. I tell you what, I never really liked... What's going on with this guy's arms?
Your sister.
I never really liked the Flesh Eater Courts models.
I have
like the old stuff.
Pass that box.
I didn't like the old stuff. But the new stuff is absolutely fucking beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, it's a chunky box, isn't it? It's heavy.
And I really like Uzurad, but my favourite one is the one who's got the wig made of intestines on his head.
No, see, I don't care for these. I mean, they're not good models. Don't get me wrong; they're stunning models, but I don't care for them.
Like this one's showing his age a bit. He looks a bit derpy. He looks like he's falling off. So like,
He doesn't look that bad, Joe. He looks all right.
But
they're okay.
The new range is nice. It's not like the vampire count. It's not like Soulblight Gravelords, which is the best. It's not the best. The problem is I'm really torn between Soulblight Gravelords and Cities of Sigmar, because I finished 10 of the handgunner type people for Cities of Sigmar, and I did Galen and Deloria Vendence yesterday.
What do you mean about being torn?
As in, like, which one's the better model line?
Oh, I thought like a case of which ones to do next. I was like, you're going to get to do both, mate, so don't worry about it.
I'm doing both.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done the full spearhead for cities. I've done the handgunners and I've done the 2 people. So, but you get a lot. You get a lot of models in your army. One of the weird things about the new app, right, which I love, it's a great sales tool. It really is. It really is. Because I was filling it out and then I was looking at rules and I was like, oh, he's really good. I want him in my army now. And I put him in. I was like, oh, he fits in the points. So if anyone's got a Fusel Major knocking around anywhere.
What's the Fusel Major?
The Fusel Major is the sniper guy who's in the crow's... and there's basically an ogre. There's a guy in like a crow's nest on his back.
Yeah.
And basically what he does is he shoots stuff and then buffs your other shooting units.
We can get him.
He's cool. He's cool as shit. Job requirements include impressive painting skills, superb board setup, vast knowledge of movie and shows. Candidate must also already be a national treasure. So your only real choice is Nicolas Cage.
I mean, I'd take it.
I mean, I'm sure chat would love to replace me with Nicolas Cage. Because he's cool. And he doesn't live far away either.
What? He's an American, isn't he?
Well, no, he's got a home in Bath and he's got a home in Wales.
That doesn't mean he lives in either of those places.
He's in Wales all the time. She's near Glastonbury. He owns a pub in Wales. Okay. Not that I stalk him or anything.
Nicolas Cage restraining order filed next week.
Yeah. So I've got to learn these things. The interesting thing is, right, about these books now, until we get new spearheads box sets, is that all the rules on the back are wrong.
Well, that'll just be for the one. They'll be changed.
Change it now.
Because the first Sylvaneth box I had Vanguard on the front of it, and like I said last week, no one wants to be associated with Vanguard. So the new one that I bought now has Spearhead on. The internals are the same.
Yeah.
So all they'll do is they'll change the printing on the booklets to include the Spearhead rules.
Yeah. What?
I wouldn't imagine that's effort.
Because I'm spoiled. I'm a spoiled brat.
You are, yeah. I'm glad you're finally starting to admit.
I want really sexy bases for all of my armies now.
Of course you do, yeah.
Or like themed bases for them. So like my Soulblights are on cool cobblestones because they're like riding around in a town, and my cities are Sigmar because they're part of the living city. They're all got like swampy bases. I feel like
Chicken tonight?
Yeah. I bought chicken this night actually. for
Did
dinner.
you?
Yeah.
This is a problem.
I feel like Flesh Eater courts need some kind of like ruined monastery kind of bases. A bit rubbly, you know. Joe, you can extend the push tip into the new Tamiya. What? What are you talking? What are you shushing me for? I've never used these before. Can you? This is a lie. Am I going to get glue everywhere now? You can take it off. I don't believe you. I feel like... Oh! It fell in.
Have you just fucking dropped it in there?
No, I didn't drop it in. Gravity did.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Never work with children, animals, or Joe.
That lives over there now. So yeah, so I want sexy bases. Who does sexy bases? A1, A2.
Unreal Wargaming does the best.
Unreal Wargaming does do the best bases. The downside is they're very, very expensive.
I'm getting them for my Imperial Fists.
Haven't you bought them for every 40k army that you've started?
No. I'm using them on my World Eaters.
Yeah. You're using them on your custodes.
I bought some.
You bought some for your sisters.
No, I didn't buy them for sisters. I don't think I did.
I feel that's a lie.
I think I bought some for custodians and decided against it.
Yeah.
But the ones that I bought for, I think I bought some for sisters because I had some 32 mils in the house that I've already started using for
the things.
But yeah, that's the thing. All those models that Chris has sent me with the Mark 6 power armor, I'm going to have to take them all off their bases.
Yeah.
What do? Do you just trim them off with snippers?
Yeah. And a knife.
Knife?
A knife.
Yeah, but are you relying on that being glued on with super glue though? To use a knife to pop it off?
Yeah.
Well, he might have used plastic glue to stick them to their bases.
Who?
Chris.
Oh yeah. You can cut around the plastic base and then trim it. You end up with a lot of mess. But thank you, Stick Monkey.
You can cut around.
My favourite bit about supporting Legends is that the amazing Warcry and underpants models I've bought for my armies can be continued to be used. Yeah, in your underpants.
I appreciate you supporting us, Stick Monkey. You don't have to call us legends.
Yeah, you're not wrong. What's annoying is I used the leader of the
Pack.
The pack of the vampire underworlds team as my Prince Vordry, which means that I'm down a model. But the Warcry Skirgan Trueblades are very good in the game. Very, very good.
Yeah.
And so I need to get some of them. But I might convert some more out of the
You're struggling with words, aren't
the
you?
Corvus Cabal. Yeah,
Jesus
I'm not
fucking
sleeping
Christ.
incredibly well at the moment.
You can't multitask very well at all.
So my brain does no, because when I do this at home, I do it. I have my stories on in the background, and I don't really talk to anyone, and it's fucking glorious.
Oh, I see. It's fucking glorious, is it, Joe?
And then my family comes home and ruins it all.
Families do that.
Yeah, I'm just sat there in my peace and quiet with my programs and
Bottom
my
half
stories.
naked.
Yeah. Oh, no, I can't sit bottom half naked on my chair because it's like a faux leather seat, and I'll get stuck to it.
I mean,
And when I stand up, it feels like I'm having my arsehole torn off.
Again.
Walking around outside this building, it happened to you.
It does, yeah.
It's very scary in this area.
I need to start listening to the Siege of Terror
Why?
because I want to.
You're so behind now. You're such a hipster.
How does that make me a hipster?
I don't know.
I've been told a book to listen to.
What book?
Yep.
What for? What legion? For fists.
I don't know, just the start of the of the Siege of Terror. They say the fists are in it. I'll have a look in a second.
The fists are in the Siege of Terror.
Yeah.
They're one of the main goodies. The main boys.
Can you really call them goodies? Can you really call the Imperium of Man goodies?
No, the Imperial fists are goodies.
Are they?
They're all right.
I feel like there's a reason why there's loyalists and heretics rather than goodies and baddies, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure you can call the rabid dictatorship that is the Imperium of Man goodies.
It's the best of the alternatives, isn't it, really?
Is it?
Yeah. Like, we need to start listening to the Talon of Horus. Listen to it like a dozen times.
Yeah, I've listened to it twice.
The Talon of Horus is the best
Fucking
book.
great book. Audible. Where's Audible? Let me find Audible.
I'm listening to the Nefertara book at the moment.
The Solar War, I was told to listen to first.
Because that is the first of the Siege of Terror.
But someone also said the Praetorian of Dawn before the Solar War. I don't know that one.
The Praetorian of Dawn is the one where they fight Alpha Legion.
Oh, are they?
I believe.
Oh,
And Alpharius.
how very exciting. Is it actually Alpharius, though?
Speaking of the books, have you gotten through more of the End of Enlightenment?
No.
What's that?
It's a... Before you make a snarky comment, it's a narrative story around Lumineth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bedtime story.
It's
Help
quite
you
good.
Help you go to sleep.
It's quite good.
Help you have nap time.
But I'm trying to avoid Lumineth narrative at the moment because I'm trying to focus on Sylvaneth and Cruel Boys. And if I listen to Lumineth narrative, what will happen is I'll pull all the Lumineth medals out of the fucking cupboard.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that right now. I want to paint Cruel Boys and Sylvaneth and try and get my eye back in with painting and get used to the monotony of doing it again.
The monotony of painting.
Yeah. And then... Because painting's fine, right? When you're painting a big character or like a centerpiece model, I can do that. They're exciting. They've got lots of bits on them that make them different, and you can spend loads of time over it, and no one bats an eyelid. When you're painting a rank and file soldier, a marine, or even a berserker, or a fucking dryad or something like that, it is monotonous. It gets boring. The first one, cool.
Well, it depends,
fun.
because if you depending on the model range. Like dryads are just like brown dry brush kind of thing, aren't they? A few leaves and stuff. Whereas like some armies, there's just as much character on the rank and file as there are on the leaders. So if you look at like the Cities of Sigmar range, for example, each steel helm has got more detail on it than a Space Marine captain.
Wow. Space Marine captains in the modern day are beige.
They are. They are a bit.
And I'll die on that hill, both in rules and appearance.
Oh. I'm gluing this guy to the base. I'm just going to do Swampy base. Swampy! They are fighting my Cities of Sigmar in a swamp. Who doesn't love a swamp, honestly? Track does. He's an onion.
You don't like silence, do you?
No. Well, as I've been told by you, like, quiet time on a stream is not dead air. People don't want dead air.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But I'm just letting you talk for now. Listening to Joe's brain go on a little jaunt.
Yeah. Thank you, Crumpets Pan. This is good day, chat.
Hey, mate.
I'm assuming he's in Australia.
He might be.
Right.
I don't know
How
how
are
many
we all
pandas they
doing?
have.
What are we working on? Hope you're both having a sexy day. Is he starting his own text-to-speak channel? Is he talking to us or chat?
I think he's talking to us. I'm working on endless spells because I'm not allowed to play AoS without them.
According to Mikey.
I'll ask you about that next week.
I need to build an endless spell, apparently. Because otherwise I can't play the game.
You're an endless spell.
We do have the big, like dragony skeleton thing.
Yeah, I think I've got that somewhere.
That one.
Yeah, how's it go? Yeah, I think we've got that one somewhere.
Yeah. I think I have to get that one built at some point. I haven't got any of the undead ones.
Amazing.
Thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Also, Crumpets Panda. I hope you have a good day. I hope you don't have a
Hernia.
hernia.
Has you had that checked yet?
No. Getting a doctor's appointment is...
You're aware the NHS is free. You don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, but you
It's
do
not
also
like
have to
when your
wait
car's
6
broken.
months.
So you probably should get the appointment earlier then, Joe, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you know the waiting list is long,
Get seen in
it kind of
2025.
makes sense
Yeah.
to get the appointment earlier, right?
Castellan asks, goes, Liam Dempsey, what about getting the 10th Legion on the channel? Iron Hands. Why do you want the most boring Legion in the world on the channel?
To be fair, Perturabo.
These Iron Warriors. You're talking about Ferris Manus.
Oh, I don't care about that then. All right, so yeah, in that case, yeah, wrong way round. Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors all day.
Cool
I
as
fucking
shit.
love Iron Warriors.
Iron Hands, dull.
Yeah.
That in that case, I
They
agree
were
with
like, we need someone to die early on in the story. We'll make it a Legion that no one really gives a shit about.
you. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Iron Hands.
And if you do like Iron Hands, you're probably a librarian.
Yeah. The only time Iron Hands were ever fucking popular in 40k was because they had broken
They were
rules.
broke as shit.
Oh, I've always been an Iron Hands fan. Fuck off.
I
No, you
got 3
haven't.
Space Marine captains and 3 Iron Hands captains and Iron Hands tech priest in a unit of Thunderwolves with a Raven Wing apothecary.
I've always been a fan of Iron Hands. Is that
Yeah.
why all your Marines are painted fucking blue?
Yeah.
Douche.
Or you had, or in 8th edition, when you had a Leviathan Dreadnought with 2 storm cannons that fired about 20 shots. Every 6 is additional 2 hits, and then every 6 to wound is an additional wound on top. And it was like AP 2 damage. Is that why you like them?
Hitting on 2s.
Hitting on 2s, yeah.
Fucking
I
honestly.
ran it for a little while.
I'm sure you did.
I only ran it because the Imperial Fist Codex hadn't come out. Because its supplement came out after. And that's the hill I'll die on for that argument. Because I was running Celestial Lions at the time. And they're an Imperial Fist successor.
Do I not offer top rate healthcare? Joe got offered top rate healthcare or more models. He picked more models.
You never offered me top rate
He just
healthcare.
picked more models instead.
I would take top rate healthcare because
But then the model type gets turned off.
fine, at least I'll be alive. My body won't hurt all the time. No, I have a decent night's sleep.
I've seen the size of the fucking paella you've put in the fridge, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure top rate healthcare solves that.
The traffic light system on the front was like all green, apart from that one that little red bit.
Right, which will be per portion. And you'll eat the whole thing.
Because otherwise it will go off.
And it probably says serves 4.
I think it's only 2. But I don't get to eat at home. I can't afford to.
Well, this is pretty. This is pretty. We're on like 57 or 58 gifteds, Joe.
Is that all?
Yeah, we didn't make the target last night either.
Really?
Yeah.
Mate, people just don't like hobby.
I mean, that's what it's telling me right now.
Is it because you weren't being controversial? Would that get you more views if you were more?
I'm not being controversial right now because I'm just happy.
Oh. I just love AoS at the moment. If we get to 100 members, I'll go make a cup of tea.
You've not made me a green tea yet.
I've not made you a green tea. Isn't that just water in a cup
There's some honey in the bottom.
and then some leaves that you found outside?
But I'm sure you'll manage to get it wrong.
No. I was.
Although I could murder a coffee, I guess.
My partner asked for a hot chocolate the other night, and I was playing Helldivers. So I ran to the kitchen because obviously
No, you didn't. Don't lie.
I walked very fast.
Waddled to the kitchen.
And and after the round had finished, and I thought I'll go make a cup of the hot chocolate. But the problem is that I was in charge of the party, so someone else started the next round. So I got really I got really huffy because I was like, I need to get it done. And my partner's got one of those latte frothing spinny things, that thing. Put it in, fired hot chocolate all over the kitchen. Right? And that
Did you not come back? Did you not think about coming out and be like, your hot chocolate's in there?
Which, as you can imagine, didn't help my mood in the
No.
slightest. Because I could hear in my headphones, because I've got the wired headphones, that the round had started. So not only did I was late to out, I had to then make a new hot chocolate, but I made it inside a giant measuring cup.
This is very first
I
world
had to clean
problems
the
here,
kitchen.
Joe.
Yeah.
My hot chocolate exploded whilst I was waiting to play on my wireless headphones. Very first world problems here, mate. To be honest with you. These endless spells are kind of cool, actually.
Please let me take on Joe in heresy.
Who says that?
Cass.
Not a fucking chance.
I think. What, are you going to try and prove to me that Iron Hands are exciting? Is this the route he's going down?
I mean, it's probably the same route as he tried to.
That kind of statement makes me feel like I'm going to come here and push your shit in, right? With Iron Hands. They're not boring. See, I won because I'm really gamey.
Well, I don't think
If
that's
you're
Cass.
like, here's my really flavourful story.
I don't feel like that's Cass, to be fair. I don't feel like he's that kind of player, mate.
No,
No.
no. I just don't like Iron Hands.
I don't think gaming's in his nature.
The problem is with Iron Hands is that because their Primarch died so early on, before anything really exciting happened, or he died during the exciting moment.
Old Ferris Mantis.
Yeah, he was basically a set piece to make Fulgrim look cooler, essentially. He kind of misses
Have
out.
you seen
on
the
it.
price of Fulgrim Transfigured?
Have you seen the cost of anything from Forge World?
I nearly fucking fell out my chair when I saw that cost.
I'm not slow at building models, Drew. I'm just trying to interact with people at the same time. Because the problem is when Liam concentrates, he stops talking.
Yep.
Um,
Not entirely true. Literally do this on Monday nights.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when we were playing Call of Duty and you just go dead silent.
It's because I'm bored of certain people's voices, Joe.
Oh. You only played with me.
I just... I was about to be like, I'm not going to say who.
Yeah. Right. So
I miss Vag.
I miss Vag. And gaming. Yeah, I think I'd like to restart Vag and gaming. For when like Space Marine comes out.
Oh, I'm not playing that.
Why are you playing it?
Because it looks fucking shit.
It looks amazing.
No. And so you're going to do the typical Warhammer person thing. It's a Space Marine, so it's amazing. It looks fucking...
No, it looks fun because it's just a cool arcadey game where you run around punching stuff with a sword.
Gears of War level dull is what it looks
I
like.
like Gears of War.
I mean, for the people that have the 3 brain cells that they need to rub together to be able to play that kind of game, then I guess it's okay. But it looks fucking boring to me. I've got no
Six
interest in
months
playing
says,
Space
to be fair, you stopped talking on Monday night.
I do. Yeah, that's why I have loose.
So I'm looking forward to it. I was talking to Josh the other day, and Josh says that he wants to play it and stream it. So I'll just go and join Josh's channel. He cares about me.
Okay, do that.
He loves me.
Is he taking on your salary?
What?
Is he going to take on your salary?
What,
Is he going to stream on Josh's channel?
What, for the one night?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
No, I think he would.
No one wants Joe. Oh, his new armies are... Oh, I didn't dry fit this. This has all gone Pete Tong. Where's your hand supposed to go?
Beg your pardon. Your Honour.
Your Honour. Oh, where's the... Oh, we're getting there. I've not fucked it up completely. Oh, there's his finger. That would have been smart of me to check out first.
If Valrak hears this, he'll tell me it's heresy! Because that's how he talks, isn't it? Heresy!
Does he say anything other than leaks?
Well, so, do you want to hear some irony?
Go on then.
He put a video out the other day,
Oh, yeah.
or a stream, about Space Marine 2, and
Yeah.
put, no leaks, please. Are you fucking kidding me?
No leaks.
I almost, it took every fibre in my being not to make it my mission over the next 7 days to find as many leaks as possible and just send them to him.
But didn't he do a video leaking all the gameplay from Space Marine 2?
I don't think he can do, because I think he's under NDA for it.
Yeah, but he was watching all of those videos and going, this army's in it, this army's in it, this armor's in it, this armor's in it, like Thousand Sons are in it.
I don't know. I just love
He
the
was
irony.
like all the things all the time.
I love the irony of him saying, no leaks, please. They're like fucking pots and kettles. Now you reap what you sow.
Oh. What's this? Someone's put a picture in. Wonder if we'll play this. What's this? He sent a picture of his iron hands.
But yeah, Space Marine 2 looks like one of those games where it's like, run into this area, press this button 25 times.
Yes.
Run
Yeah,
into this
the hacking button.
Press this next button 25 times. Run into this next area, press this button 25 times. Well done, you've finished the level. Jesus Christ. Sounds fucking awful.
Thank you, Elak Man. Moving on from Grumpy Pants here.
I'm not
I
grumpy,
sent
I'm in
you a
good
link
mood.
to a short story on Discord for Joe to read. For once, it's not Lumineth. It's about Grand Justice Googly Mane, Gormane, the ghoul with wig. He goes, order!
Order!
And then he hits people with his long sausagey mane.
Isn't the narrative behind the Flesh Eater course that they don't think they look like they look like?
I've not read any of the.
I
background for it.
think the narrative behind Flesh Eater courts is that they all think they're like, man in his fucking intestine wig actually thinks he's got like a fancy wig on.
Yeah. They used to be Bretonians.
Who Flesh Eater courts?
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
Because all of their stuff is they're very regal. Everything's all about court and ceremony and fancy stuff. And a lot of their stuff is like got lots of fleur de lis on it.
Okay.
So the general premise is that like their knightly orders all come from their background in Bretonia, being
kinda cool.
French.
Either Britannia doesn't kind of really exist anymore.
Oh, Dan says he doesn't want the story leaked. I'm going to leak. I think I should smash that hell out of that game and then leak the story.
I mean, I don't think you'll be able to beat him before he'll finish the game before you.
He'll probably get to play it before everyone else, won't he?
Yeah.
But for him to say like no leaks, please, is a bit.
It's strong, isn't it?
It's a bit much. When he's quite clearly got someone inside Games Workshop sending him a list of everything that's happening at Games Workshop for the next 5 years.
Clean, clean, clean.
My
I'll start
mind says
talking.
that's not canon, but I was like, but all of their. I thought it was me. I thought it was canon that they're Bretonian.
I have no idea. All I knew was that they don't see themselves as zombies. They see themselves as like, they see themselves as like a much nicer image than what they actually are.
Yeah.
Is what I've heard. I don't know. I think it was Josh that told me that. And he likes his fleshy courts, doesn't he?
But then
He likes his flesh-like courts.
I think it also like depends on what like story you're listening to. So I was listening to the Vendence book, and they're fighting a ghoul that's because they're basically just absolutely batshit mental, living in ruins, and just running out and violently attacking people and sucking all their blood and doing stuff to the corpses.
Doing stuff to the corpses?
I don't know. I'm building a Vargolf courtier now.
No one tells me nothing.
He will court you.
I've almost finished these 3 endless spells. And there's no more memberships coming through, so I'll just end the stream.
Okay. And then we'll play AoS. I need to go through all of the
Fire Slayers.
the fire slayers or the floating dwarfs.
Caradron. I don't
Yeah.
think there's enough Caradron. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's not enough Caradron yet.
There needs to be. Oh, this is a strange model. It clips over the other bit.
It does. Dig the hair cleanup. Who's hair cleanup? Joe hasn't had a hair cleanup. Have you?
I've got to put the word allegedly on stuff. Oh, apparently the full game has already been leaked.
If we get to 100 gifted in the next half an hour, Joe, we'll play it on stream.
Yeah?
Yeah, just for you. Just for you, mate.
100?
Yeah.
How many have we got now?
I don't know. Not a fucking clue.
That's you're useless to me. How you should know? It's literally in front of you.
Oh, it's not in front of me. In front of me is the controls for the stream.
Oh, I don't know.
It will be 20, 40, 55, 57 or 58?
6, 26, 27, 47, 52, 57.
There you go, 57, like I
So
said.
it's 43, and then we'll play it on stream. With pants off. All pants are off. B3. I am...
All pants are off.
All pants are off.
Does that mean when you go home for a shower off poo, you're just fully naked?
Sometimes. Who doesn't like a naked poo?
Bits all over this fucking thing.
Naked poo. Thank you, Sick Monkey, for 10 gifted memberships. See, he really likes us. He's a good lad.
What he does is he wants to see me suffer.
Yeah?
Playing a shit game.
I like seeing you suffer.
Evidently.
Thank you, Sean. I hope, Sean, that you. Ooh.
I'm sorry, Sean, I know you've paid for this. Fucking Jesus. Fleshy courts have the Brett iconography and they think they are knights and royals because of Sharon's delusion of the vampire he used to be, but GW won't upset the Brett fans and make it official. There you go. Interessant. That's what the Bretonians say, because it's French, isn't it? Interessant! That's how they say it as well.
Yeah.
That's exactly how a French person talks.
I hope that you get the perfect Christmas tree.
What is the perfect Christmas
Like, it fits perfectly in a part of your house and doesn't mean that you have to move furniture. And like, it fits, it's the perfect dimensions.
Meat Squadron, thank you for the one gifted. You're a legend. Stick Monkey just said, I got no skin in the game. I just enjoy seeing Liam cry. I'm actually in a good mood lately. Sean.
No one likes Liam in a good mood.
In a really good mood lately.
So, Mr. The Brom's here later.
He is, yeah.
He's going to watch us play AoS. And the hope is that, well, he wants to play AoS, but he doesn't want to have to buy an army or build it or paint it. Which basically means that Liam has to buy him an army and I have to build it and paint it.
Well, no, because what he wants to play is he wants to play Auric Warclans, but specifically the
Iron Jaws. He wants to play Iron Jaws
stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm building Auric Warclans anyway, so
Yeah.
you might not even have to paint it.
Yeah, but neither will you.
You mean neither will I.
Thank you, Resident Rum Drinker, for 10 gifted memberships. I hope that you win a phone competition and you get to go to the Seychelles and drink rum. What are you doing there? We do a wibbly tree.
Drinking a Triller base.
Speaking of tree.
People like you, which is why I don't paint.
Why? What is it like me? Like, why do I make you not paint? My life would be easier if you did paint.
All the constant piss taking.
All the constant piss taking.
Like, what's the point? He's just going to fucking say I'm not going to do it anyway, so I might as well not bother.
Yeah, but one day you might be like, fuck Joe, and actually do it. You'll be like, I'll show him.
I could never be like, fuck Joe. Iron Jaws are the coolest the conversion of GW Orcs. Yeah, I feel like Cruel Boys are slightly cooler than Iron Jaws, and Iron Jaws are slightly cooler than everything else Orc.
Yeah. Iron Jaws are, to me, what 40k Orc should be.
We'll have to change our names to weird Greek shit then for later.
Like, Iron Jaws to me are like what 40k Orc should be, because like all their armor is just, they've gone sheet metal and just hammered it into shape.
I get a microfig in a Christmas tree. RRD gets a free on into the Seychelles. John, it's a lottery. Rossonero got offered a plane crash, all right?
Thank you, Zodiac817, for 5 gifted memberships.
Iron Jaws versus Crawl Boys is a toss-up. I think the reason why I lean so hard into the Crawl Boys aesthetic is just because of the Tolkien-esque kind of appearance of them. Like, I just feel like they're much more Tolkien orcs than Iron Jaws are. Not to say I don't like the Iron Jaws. I think the Iron Jaws are cooler versions of orcs. I feel like, for me, the 40k orcs went too kind of cartoony, and the names didn't help either. Megatrack, Scrap, Jet, Buster, Bomber thing, or whatever the fuck they're called. I lost interest when they started to come up with all
They
these
just had a
songs.
dartboard of random fucking non-words
They
on
had a
it.
guy who was in his last week at GW, like, what kind of silly names can I get through?
The Floody Noob Shagalagger, you know?
Yeah. Iron Jaws is the best because of the big pig. There is a big pig in Iron Jaws.
No, Big fucking
Joe's
turbo.
favourite.
As I discovered today, it's fucking mental. I've got to play against one on the weekend as well.
Mental Oriental.
Kill that bastard very quickly.
Is that Mr. Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, that thing's mental.
It's all right. Just kill it.
This Vargol thing comes in more pieces than it should.
Kill it. I think you can. What's its? It's 3-up saving on that big pig as well.
Yeah. So it can either all-out defense or all-out attack. So if he all-out defenses, it's got a 2-up save, basically.
Seems perfectly reasonable to me. That's what the problem is. Oh my god. Look at Roland Bain.
Thank you, Roland Bain. He just says, for Skaven. For Skaven!
I do have the second Skaven type box in my car, Joe, because I know how excited you are about 40 more clan rats.
I'm probably going to paint 20.
40 more clan rats. Well done, Joe.
What we do need is the big stuff. The big boy things. Like Squeeble, Sloopy Noob, or whatever his name is.
I know what happens here. Joe goes, we need all this stuff. I'm like, cool, okay. So I buy all the stuff. The next time he comes in, I built this extra thing for my zombies.
Zombies are cooler.
I built this extra thing for my Soulblight Gravelords. Okay. But all that stuff I said that we needed, you said we needed? Yeah, that's at home.
Yeah, in the bin. Yeah, because at the moment we've just got the 2 Skaven thingies. What is the name of the Jobby Jobbers and of Flu?
Do you still have the giant like Rat King things?
We'll find out.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They were fucking beautiful models.
Skaven, 2,000 points. Just pick one because it doesn't really matter which one you choose. Skaven.
I mean, not at the point of list building, it doesn't know. You can change it after the fact as well. So.
And Hero. So the Screaming Bell.
That's another name for Brom. Fucking Screaming Bell.
So Lord Screech Vermin King. We need one of them.
Okay. Thank you, Bane, by the way, you fucking
Thank you.
legend.
Oh, Thanquillum Bone Ripper is cool. Well, the Vermin Lord kit makes many different ones. What annoys me about the Vermin Lord model is just one pose.
The big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool.
It's cool. I think I'd only want one because I don't like the idea of multiple poses.
You don't just want 3 of them, Joe?
No.
Fucking hell, what's happened to you? You've changed.
You can take 3, but then you've got no very real variations.
Change.
So thank...
I know what Joe's like, chat. Oh, that looks good. 3 of them.
Oh, Nightquill on Bone Ripper. And then we'll just I have to add a character.
I assume as a character he's unique.
Yeah.
So you can only take 1 of them, actually.
And then... What else have you got? Where are you?
Bane, thank you so much for the red one, by the way, man. What a legend.
The Hell Pit Abomination.
We will be adding more Skaven to the raid.
Which is like the big Rat King thing.
We've got 2 copies of Skaven Tide for all of the new Skaven units that have come out. So we're going to have like 40 clan rats, 6 of the sniper dudes, and some characters. And then we're going to add some big stuff. We're going to add a Brom to the army, like a Screaming Bell.
Yeah.
We'll add a couple other bits as well, obviously. But the new ones are very pretty.
Yeah. I think if you only go for big characters, like the big stuff.
What
and
would,
then,
do
and
you
then
know,
wait for their book to come out.
legitimately, one of my favourite things about AoS, and I feel like this is partly true in Heresy from what I saw on Poised as well, is the ability to actually play Hero Hammer. You know, it's one of my favourite things in the world.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a big thing, and it fights like a fucking big thing, and it's tough, and it hits like a train. You can still kill it.
Says the man that only runs big things.
I fucking love it.
It's like,
I love the big things, Joe.
that don't die, and
true, is
you
it?
can bring them back to life.
They all died. I didn't bring anything back to life, so I think you're fine. You're talking shit.
I did kill them all.
You're talking shit.
You're tidying that up. But yeah. But no, the great thing about what I find interesting about AoS that like people aren't so worried about in AoS. Like a lot of people in 40k are like, oh, I really miss building custom characters with all the attachments and stuff. And like when you've got named characters in 40k, it's like that you've got this one guy who's in every army, despite the fact that he can't be all over the universe at the same time. Whereas like because AoS is based essentially on like in realms, which is, but mainly it's kind of, you kind of think about it as like being all on one planet. You're like, it doesn't matter there being one like a named character in every army because he's only on that one planet.
I don't understand.
Basically, it's more acceptable to have cool named characters in AoS than it is in 40k.
I don't think that way.
But the thing about AoS is that like the characters, because they don't go in units, tend to be very specific roles. So here's your buffer character, here's your fighting character, here's your enhancing character, or here's your magic. Like, so, and like all the characters have a use, whereas in 40k, most characters are all shit all the time.
Now they weren't though.
No, they
only
weren't.
because 10th edition.
Yeah. Thank you for Christopher Sanford, Police Station, Gloucestershire. Never played AoS, but my gaming group is getting into it. I love the models and will be using both Skaven and Stormcast. Given I want to play both, is it actually worth doubling up on Skaven Tide?
Yep.
Yes, because you get about 1250 points of both armies, roughly. So 2 box sets will give you a 2,000 point force quite easily. Like the Skaven half, especially both forces, if you double it up, but only use one set of the characters, gives you 2,000 points quite nicely.
Yeah, I think 2 boxes is probably worth it. You'll get some character duplicates. You'll be able to stick them on eBay, obviously. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of people doing similar. So don't expect to get a lot for them, but you'll get. So the value of the box is insane anyway, right? It's so good.
Yeah.
So if you can then stick some of the extra characters on eBay and get a few quid back, the value of the box is even better. The rule book, you'll get a few quid back. I mean, I'd probably buy the main rule book off you myself, Chris, if you decided to buy a second box, because we have a rule book here in the studio. I bought a second box, and I've told Joe that he can have the rules out of that second box. I'd actually like to keep one at home as well. I'm so into AoS at the moment. Like, I want it in and around my face all the time. I think the box, even if you're just taking the liberators, I think they're called, the clan rats, the snipers, those sorts of things out of the. I've just chopped a bit of a leaf off. Even if you're taking those out of the box alone, I think the box is arguably worth it. If you think about buying them separately, they're going to be like 20 clan rats is probably going to be like 35 quid now in Games Workshop.
I reckon probably.
Which means 40 clan rats is 70 quid. 5 liberators will be 25, 30 quid, right? So you're talking like 140 quid, 150 quid to be able to buy probably 10 liberators and 40 clan rats once the box is broken down into its individual components. And the fact that you get extra stuff than just that, I think makes it worth it. So I 100% would buy 2 boxes if you're thinking about playing both factions. I think it's a good use of cash if you can afford it. And if you can make anything back off of any of the extra stuff in there, that's just a bonus. Absolute bonus. Skaven Tide is a good box set. Skaven Tide is the best box I've ever made.
Yeah.
Skaven Tide is the best box for value and content. It also helps that I personally, genuinely, honestly believe that it's also the best rule set they've ever made.
Oh, true.
So if you think the value's great, there's terrain, there's two. Well, this is the other thing you'll get from that box. You'll get a second set of terrain. There's terrain, there's 2 armies, there's 2 rule books essentially. If you think about Spearhead, I think the value of the box is insanely good. Absolutely insanely
Insane
good.
in the membrane.
Insane in the membrane, yeah. The value of the box is mad good. And then when you consider that the game's also amazing as well. I'll be honest with you. Although I said a lot of times over the course of the last couple of months, I think 4th AoS is the best game I've ever made. That was hampered slightly by Heresy on Thursday and my mad nostalgia for 7th edition Warhammer 40k. I did hamper that a little.
But, like, we're kind of a lot more open, accepting of all the different aspects of the hobby, which you're not tending to get at the moment.
I mean, this is something we tried to start. We started towing the giant tanker last year after 10th edition came out.
What from? He's a giant tanker.
Only because it fucking 10th edition 40k. We were towards the end of 9th edition. We were playing a lot of the match play rule sets.
Yeah.
And we're doing a little bit more in terms of competitive kind of gaming.
I literally got this right the first time, and I can't.
And then when 10th came out and the way it was, I was like, this isn't a fun way of playing the hobby. This isn't what I like or I enjoy.
No.
So I think like it was kind of, let's go down this other route instead of being competitive, because I want us to be enjoying it, because if we're enjoying it, it's more entertaining for people that are watching it.
Yeah.
Right, naturally. And I'm glad we did. And we also started the bandwagon coming away from 40k slow. Not doing 40k. Like, when I say coming away from 40k, I mean coming away from doing 40k exclusively and doing other things and extra things. And so I wanted to bring in Heresy, and I wanted to bring in AoS, and I wanted to bring in Old World at the turn of the year, and Games Workshop fucked that one up, I'm afraid. Useless fuckers.
The games, I really enjoy the game. Again, zero fucking balance in that game, but it's good. It's still a fun game.
Oh, it's not the balance that's the issue for me. It's the absolute lack of model and range support.
Yeah.
It very much feels like it was a cash grab.
And the starter army boxes.
Are you breaking that out the spree?
I know, I have regrets. I was going to thought, I'll just snap it out and it'd be done in a one-over, but it's not. The starter box set for the dwarfs is garbage.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, apart from one unit of 20 of the bowmen, crossbowmen, you don't want anything in that army box. You don't want any of it. And what really bugged me, right, that we don't complain about anything that Games Workshop does on this channel. We're always positive all the time. Is that
bullshit?
The Cities of Sigmar data cards were released, right? And dwarfs, so Ironbreakers, Hammerers,
Hammerer,
the guys with the big guns and the Fire Drakes and stuff, they're all in Cities of Sigmar. They're all in the data cards for it now. Games Workshop removed them from the Cities of Sigmar side of the website.
Yep.
And they're no doubt going to end up in the dwarf part
Yep.
of Old World. I know that they're going to be more expensive.
Yes.
I know. It always. What's good? If they're the same price, I will be blown away, because they've just had a price increase, and if they take them down, rebox them to have square bases, and then put them up again, they're more expensive. I think you're going to have a lot of very unhappy people.
I mean, I think there's already a lot of unhappy people, though. To be fair.
Yeah.
We're gonna launch Old World, and here's the 9 supported factions. When we say supported, what we mean is we're gonna blow off some old fucking molds. Right, there we go.
Yeah.
Just make some old models, but reprint them. Like, there you go. This is acceptable in 2024.
Yeah.
It isn't. for reference. It isn't acceptable in 2024. Then you look at the sort of things you can get for AoS, right? It's not acceptable in 2024 at all. Okay. How many were we on? 57, 50.
I don't know how this guy's supposed to go on. I have to
68, 78. What's 78, Jay?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You
going to add it up in your head?
Yeah. 5,
Joe maths.
10, 30, 31, 51,
Yeah.
52, 57,
Yeah.
67, 68, 78, 83.
I forgot those last 5.
83.
83.
Harbon! Don't you be so mean to those beautiful gyrocopters. The old world boxes have been better value, 100 Canadian dollars for 20 to 30 minis in a lot of cases.
That's not good value when they're 20 years old, though.
Yeah.
Well, that shit's in people's boot sales nowadays.
It's just... The old world stuff, I know why they've done it, because they like to make money, and people miss old world, so they're just cashing in on it. But it's just... Like, when you think with the Bretonians, right, they've done a new new lady on a unicorn. They've done a new...
She's pretty.
Stunning model.
Yeah.
One of the best models Games Workshop have ever put out. You've got the 3 characters on the Pegasus. They've done new knights on foot. Beautiful. It's like, why didn't they redo the knights?
Oh, the knights
on the horses?
Stunning as well,
Yeah,
by the way.
the knights on the horses, old kit. I was like, you literally, like, you just make a horse to put under him. Done. Right? They've done the Pegasus model for the character, but didn't redo Pegasus knights. Mm-hmm. Right?
Rossonero, thank you so much for 10 more gifted.
Thank you, Rossonero. And then the other thing that really bugged me is that they did...
You know it bugged him because he didn't even wish you anything.
I'll get to you in a minute. Right? They took the metal trebuchet kit, right? And then, instead of just redoing it in Finecast, they've redone the exact same kit in Forge World resin. So it's been someone's job to take that kit and redesign it to then put it into a Forge World sculpt, like into the machine, right? Surely that level of effort could just be gone into just redesigning a plastic one.
I think it's about potential quantity sold though. That's the problem. So I feel like plastic sculpts only become value for money for Games Workshop when they think they're going to sell a considerable number of them.
Yeah, but Games Workshop I also think are mental.
I don't think they're thinking they're going to sell a considerable number of trebuchets.
Because Games Workshop internally is massively segregated. In like, you are Old World, you are AoS, you are 40k, you are Heresy. There is no crossover.
You know why?
Yeah. Because they were...
Financial reporting.
Yeah. But they all seem to think that like, people play AoS, so they're not going to buy models for Old World. Right? Or people that play Old World, they're like, I'm not going to buy any of those beautiful AoS models to use instead of my 40-year-old Chaos Warrior sculpts, you know?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just think that like they're a bit unhinged to think that people won't use the crossover stuff. There's people that use AoS models in 40k for Christ's sake. Like
I think this is the thing, right? I think this is where it's entirely retarded some of their decisions, quite frankly, because I feel like the idea of segregating certain hobbies off from each other so that they can better understand which one's performing. Yeah. I get that. I get the need to understand how Heresy is performing versus 40k. I get the need to understand how AoS is performing versus Old One. I get the need for that, and I get the need to understand granular, like what's going on with your business and where you should be focusing your effort and where you should be strategizing. Fully understand all that stuff. I have no trouble with that whatsoever. I've ran a relatively reasonable sized contracting business, and having that information and that data so that you can decide where and when you make changes is vital, and it's very important. Yeah. And it can sometimes, when you make those changes, mean the difference between making or losing quite literally millions of pounds, for them probably even more. So I do get it, but I think that the way in which they've gone about doing it is not right. I don't necessarily have the answer, but you're 100% right. How many fucking plastic Spartans did they sell from the release of Age of Darkness to the release of 10th edition when they were legal in 40k?
Loads.
And I'm not saying that everyone who went to a tournament was running a Spartan, but Spartans in the old, before Age of Darkness, one of the most famous heresy tanks, beautiful, great big Land Raider, looks cooler, I would suggest, than an actual 40k Land Raider, wildly popular despite the fact that it was a chunk of resin that cost enough, that weighed enough that you could kill a man with it, right?
Yeah.
It was big, fucking chunky bastard. So they bought that on Age of Darkness. I know so many people who bought Age of Darkness just to build 40k Space Marines.
Yeah.
And then they went, yeah, you can't use them anymore.
Yeah. Well, the amount of people nowadays that like, the Land Raider's 60 quid now, or I could spend £10 less and buy a Spartan and just use that as a Land Raider.
Is it really? Is the Spartan 10 quid less than a Land Raider?
If you buy it from Element Games, exclamation mark Element, it's £10 less because it's not direct order. Right? Games Workshop have said that you can use it as a Land Raider. Chris has said, is Warcry successful, or are people buying the models just for AoS?
Well, exactly. Who cares? Like, if you're Games Workshop, though, who cares?
Yeah.
I guess the only reason why you would care is if you could prove that Warcry is utterly unsuccessful because you separate the models out, then you could be like, okay, cool. We do not spend any more time, money, or effort developing future editions of Warcry.
Yeah.
Right? But what you've done at the same time is you're almost definitely mitigating the cost of that for the amount of people in Age of Sigmar that are buying those models anyway.
Yeah.
So it's kind of net irrelevant. Like, if you're going to sell the kits, you're selling the kits. Who cares if people are using the rules?
I know.
But again, if you think about rule sets, etc., if you went into the realms of releasing rules for free, like a lot of other hobby systems do, I was with a friend of mine on Saturday. We were out for lunch in the forest, and he gave up on Games Workshop years ago. In fact, I think it was the end of 7th edition, launch of 8th edition, where he gave up on 40k and was like, I don't like this new direction that they're going in, and he hasn't returned since. And I don't necessarily blame him, but he's gone big into Infinity. By is it who makes Infinity? Is it
Corvus Belli?
Corvus Belli, thank you.
Yeah.
And he was showing me their app and stuff. Everything free.
Yeah.
Their pre-orders. I mean, I'm not saying that they're necessarily the golden light to hold up in the air because they don't make anywhere near as much money as Games Workshop do. And arguably, the only reason why we have as much of the stuff that we have from GW is because they make so much money.
And so Infinity is a very complicated rule set.
Yeah, it is wildly complicated. But if you remove some of the success that we've seen from GW, we arguably don't then get as many things as we get.
Yeah.
As hobbyists, we get excited about new things, new products, updates, etc. So it's very reasonable to suggest that if success slowed down, release rate probably slows down in the future as well. But he was showing me the app that exists for Infinity, and it's not pretty necessarily. But guess what? Not only are all the rules free, but the pre-orders that are coming out in like 4 to 6 months, they already know what they are. And they've already released the rules for them.
Yeah.
So you can look at the rules for it a month and a half before you fucking pre-order it.
Creates a hype, doesn't it?
No, it just makes a hype. You can make an informed decision when you buy the thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's an interesting angle to take.
I think the thing Games Workshop don't like, I don't think Games Workshop inherently like informed decisions when it comes to people spending their money. I think they thrive off of people's lack of knowledge of what's coming out. Like if you know that a new kit or new box sets for your army are coming out in 6 months, you probably won't spend money on a new army now, because.
But think about the relationship that builds with your core audience, a relationship of trust and loyalty, which there is no trust, there is no loyalty from GW to its audience.
I don't think there's any trust between the audience and Games Workshop.
So there's no trust there's no loyalty from GW to audience. There's no trust from audience to GW.
No.
I would argue that the loyalty from audience to GW is eroding.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think the loyalty to 40k, for example, has been seriously eroded over the course of the last 12 months, and that's why. I mean, we're both sat here with AoS models on the table.
Yeah.
Right? Rather than 40k models. We have turned Tuesdays into AoS Day instead of 40k because the loyalty to 40k is eroding. GW could actually really do a lot of work to rebuild, or should do a lot of work to rebuild that trust and loyalty. And unfortunately, I see comments in chat about shareholders. Shareholders at the highest level who are just big investment companies looking to invest on shares that will see a return are one of the most toxic and fucking poisonous things out there. Capitalism in theory works. In practice, short-term greed ruins everything. And that's, I mean, you can come away from GW, it's just true of everything. We were talking, the Thanes were literally talking about public transport this morning. I used to work in the public transport sector. I used to work in the railways. Short-term greed and capitalism ruins it.
Oh, 100%. Like when you, like I've seen like reporters going to France, Germany, Italy, asking people how much they think that, like how much it costs to travel a specific distance between train station and train station in that country, and then going, well, how much do you think it's in England? And it's normally like 10 times the price of what they're paying. And their services are a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
But it doesn't help that like our entire train system hasn't really been updated properly since like early 1900s. Right.
But why? Because it's about maximising profit.
Yeah, but also all the ones in Europe got bombed.
Well, yeah,
A lot of it.
But in this country, it's about maximising profit now. It's not about the service. It's not about the service you're providing to individuals. It's about maximising profit.
Yeah.
And and the thing is, I think we can apply. I genuinely think we can apply this to model ranges in Games Workshop. Things like Spartans, crossover things like Warcry, etc. The short-sightedness of profit and greed will inevitably, long term, do more harm than good. And if you forget the short-sightedness of chasing profit early to make sure you can appease your shareholders on every quarterly financial review, and you go, like, you know what, we're going to have a little bit of a meeting here, we'll have a chat about this, and you know what, in the next 2 quarters, we don't expect to see an increase in profit. But what we're going to do actually is we're putting a system in place to build loyalty with fans, to build that trust back up. So long term, we stand to be a really solid brand, and we're a safe business.
Yeah. Here's a question for you.
17, Your Honour.
Do you think Games Workshop has decided on a cap for how much they're going to increase their prices to?
No, they'll keep doing it until they get away with it, as long as they get away with it.
Because surely they must know there's a limit for how much people are going to pay for units.
I think the people that make decisions on pricing are not hobbyists.
Yeah.
And I think the people that make decisions on pricing each year at the moment are going to go up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then let's look at what the profits do.
Yeah.
And this has happened over the course of the last 2-3 years, up a little bit more. And we'll blame the global economy, and we'll blame the war in Ukraine, and we'll blame the cost of energy, and we'll blame COVID. We'll blame all these things, but we keep putting our prices up. By the way, at the same time, we're going to give our staff an extra $3,500 bonus because we've made it record profits. We'll put our prices up a bit more because we can't take that hit. We've given every single member of staff a $3,500 bonus, but we can't keep putting that price. And as long as people keep buying it and that quarterly finance figure keeps going up, they'll keep doing it. Now, one day what will happen is, I've got no doubt, price will go up, and there's a potential that the spending of their fan base stutters.
Yeah.
And then the money people go, whoa, we might leave that alone next year.
Yeah.
We might have got to our limit.
Yeah.
And then they'll leave it for a little bit, and then they might go, and then they'll start to see the profit climb again. And then they'll go, there we go, up again. And that's what happens all the time.
Because like, you kind of see it now in armies like Guard and Tyranids, right? And it's creeping into Space Marines now, right? Where you've got things like 110-point model is now £50 to buy, right? So like Tyranids, all their big monsters are 50 quid, right? There was a time, 10, 12 years ago, so it's going back a bit, where you could buy an entire new army for about 350 quid. And that's doubled.
Yeah.
Minimum, doubled now, unless you play Custodes, right? Like Imperial Guard tanks, 50 quid each. You can run 12 in an army and still have change.
I used to, as a young squaddy with disposable income, I used to spend 250 quid max and have a full army in spares.
Yeah.
Easy.
Like, a unit of 10 intercessors is like 45 quid.
Oh, it's mad, isn't it?
Right? And that's your core infantry.
Yeah, which was there's still no real reason for taking.
Yeah, there's literally no point in taking them. Right, unless your Blood Angels running assault intercessors, there's literally no point taking them. Like, I did this little price exercise with Dan on the phone yesterday, right? 10 Banshees is £80.
Yeah, I know.
Right? There was a time,
About 160 points as well.
5-6 years ago, Forge World were charging £70 for 10 Krieg models, 10 resin Krieg models, and people stopped buying them, right? Because that was insane money for like a 50-point unit, right? So 10 Banshees currently is £80. So 30 is 860, 240 quid, right? And then, so you're like, that's the maximum I can take.
Which is significantly more than the 7 members that we need to get to 100.
Right. And then, right, so £240. And then you put Jane Zara in, because I'm doing a Banshee shrine. So that's another 30 quid for her, right? We all know Banshees died to a stiff breeze.
Yeah.
Right? So,
especially nowadays.
Right. So you have to put them in Wave Serpents, which are like 40 quid each.
I mean, you're preaching to the converted,
right?
Jack.
It's like, if I actually more, right? So you've got your 3 Wave Serpents, you've got 30 Banshees, you've got Jane Zara, right? You've spent near £500, well, £400, right? £400 for these, right? 700 points. You've not even reached 1,000 points yet, right? And there's going to be a point soon, I think, where Games Workshop goes, we either increase the points so people buy less.
That's not going to happen,
so less stuff on the table, or we start like, I don't know, we start not increasing our prices for a little while. So
I genuinely believe they'll keep doing it as long as people keep buying it. It's as simple as that. And one of the reasons why, do you know what? Genuinely, the pricing for AoS seems at the moment to be a bit better.
Well, you get AoS, because I remember talking to a lot of people before AoS 4 came out, and they were really worried that AoS would become 40k. Everything's just Horde. You've got loads and loads of stuff on the table. Like you can't make an army unless you spent £600.
Yeah.
Right. AoS is so much more affordable to get 2,000 points on.
And the other thing as well is, this is where I have my complaints about Old World, as we were speaking about slightly earlier, because I do look at the AoS model range, and I don't know what the cost of a plastic mold is. I don't know what the cost of a designer or a developer is to design these things. I don't know the cost of the kit and equipment to get it to a point where it's in a box and you can go and buy it. I have no idea about these things. But when you look at the detail on the modern day AoS sculpts, I feel like there is a little part of me at least, and I'd be interested to know what chat think, but I feel there's a little part of me at least that thinks, do you know what? That is so incredibly beautiful as a model. Yeah. I'm okay with its cost to a point, because I'm paying for a real premium quality product. And then you see that dwarf box.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the standard of the AoS model range is unique to the AoS model range. Don't get me wrong. Well, I don't get me wrong. It obviously includes also Warcry and stuff like that. Yeah. But I feel personally like a box at £40 for AoS compared to the intercessors that you spoke of. I know which one I feel like is better value for money. Yeah. They're irrelevant of points. Irrelevant of what their points are in game. Yeah. In terms of when you have your finished built product, in terms of what you actually have in front of you, if you have 10 intercessors, 10 space marines that are all kind of smooth lines, they're not bad models, don't get me wrong. But if you take that and you compare it to something of equivalent value for Age of Sigmar, I feel like one of them, I feel like I'm getting better value because of the quality of the sculpt.
If you look at like the Canis and Toll box set, right, it comes in 6 models. Games Workshop was charging 40 quid for it, which is insane when you consider you get less in that box set than you do in an Underworld box, right? But those models are stunning. Each one of them is a high quality, stunning and brave plastic model, right? And you're like, this is like their high end kind of deal. So 40 quid, you're like, I can kind of understand it. I'm only ever going to buy one, never going to buy more, right? But when you're like a guard player and you have to spend 35 quid on a 50-point unit that you need like 4 of.
Well, one day, I very much want to do my Cadian army in the future. Yeah. And John walked around the essay, I was like, you've got 4 Cadia stands boxes. Like, yeah. Because my friendly local gaming store was knocking them out for like 60, 70 quid because they bought too many. So I bought 4 of the fuckers. He said, why? I said, how much do you think it costs to buy the contents of Cadia stands as individual kits? And now wonder why I bought 4 of them at 60, 70 quid each?
Yeah. It's like, well, someone said earlier, Resident Rumdrigger said that the horses, so the Death Riders for Krieg are 20 quid a model. Which is 100 quid for a legal 5-man unit. Well, no, 100 quid for a 5-man unit, yeah. I know you've got a lot.
I've got 30 in there.
I know. But you didn't buy those. Yeah, it's
AoS is less popular, so the prices are lower. It's possibly true. It's possibly true. I don't necessarily completely disagree with that one. And it's where my brain goes, I want AoS to be more popular because I want to do more content on it, and I wanted to see the same treatment from our audience, at least, that 40k gets in terms of gifted, supers, watch time, views, etc., subscribes, what have you. So in that hand, I want AoS to be popular. On the flip side, however, if that's true, I also kind of don't want it to be popular because I'd rather keep the prices where they were.
I'd like to see the points go up in 40k, so you have less on the table.
Maybe.
Because if you think, right, if you're an Orc player currently, sorry, Tom, you could fit 120 Orc boys on the table.
Chat goes mad. Who's Tom? Yeah,
right?
no.
120 Orc boys, and you've got space for 18 mega knobs. Right? The Orc boys are like 45 quid a box.
I know.
Right?
And they're a fucking joke as well.
Yeah.
Orc Boys are one of... I do not understand how Orc Boys as a release was not fucking ranted about more. Here's a box of 10 Orc Boys. Apart from, you get 4 Slugger and Chopper, 1 Knob, 1 Big Weapon, and 4 Sluggers.
Yeah.
Or Shooters. Like, okay, so... But in the rules, I can take all Sluggers and Choppers? Yeah. Can I build them? No. So it's 40 quid for 10 orcs, and I can't even build what I want.
Yeah.
Yup. Unbelievable. Anyway,
Madness.
We've got away with not doing Space Marine. There's 7 away, Jay.
7?
What was that last one that's at the bottom there?
10.
Yeah, so we're 7 away. Thank you for the 10. Who was it from? Rossonero. I think I already said that.
Let me do a recount. 5, 10, 30, 31, 41, 51, 52, 57.
58.
No.
56.
What did I say? 57, 57,
56,
67,
58,
68,
69,
78,
72,
83, 93.
So 7 away then.
Yeah.
The maths is good. It's almost like I knew that 83 plus 10 was 93, Joe.
Wow. Bully for you with your big city schools, you know?
I don't live in a big city.
You do. You live in
don't.
Southampton.
No, I don't.
You live near Southampton.
I lived in Hythe.
Yeah, which is near a big
Tiny
city.
little village full of old people. What hype are you feeling for your AoS armies right now, Liam Joe? What plans for your favoured armies? Any thoughts? I am mad hype for Sylvaneth at the moment. Having played them last week, and I played them actually when GW demoed the game to us, I really like Sylvaneth. I love the wood elf kind of vibe anyway. And I've just recently got my hands, as you probably saw last night, I recently got my hands on some Gossamer archers. The kind of Revenant style stuff that exists in Sylvaneth, I actually kind of like it more than the Dryad or even Tree Lord stuff. I fucking love that kind of shit. I'm into my elves anyway. I've always been into my elves. And I love that this is a different form of wood elves that is not what you would normally expect. So
Thank you, South Deacon. Thank you, Stick Monkey. We're 1 away.
This is not what I would typically expect. They stopped gifting because Rossonero gifted telling you didn't wish him anything. You said, I'll get to you. And
sorry, Rossonero. I hope when you go shopping Tesco's later, the freezers are broken and they're giving away like frozen food on the cheap.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carlos Lomas. Thank you, Dan Skippy. Thank you, Sam Deacon.
Stick Monkey.
Thank you, Stick Monkey, for 5.
He's owed another wish.
I hope he complained that I didn't give him a good one, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He said you were shit.
I hope for your next birthday you get tickets from a family member to do like one of those like track days.
Oh, that sounds nice.
In like a fancy car.
I'd like that, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Bainson. Thank you, Brad Hines. Thank you, Because of Dragons, Thank you, Kenneth Evans. What?
I don't think Sean's got a driving license. I think you've just wished him a track day he can't use. There's another 5 in there as well.
From who? Thank you, Baneson. Oh yeah, for 5. I hope Baneson that you discovered that you're adopted and your original,
Fucking hell,
and your original family are wealthy aristocrats that give you all of their money.
Okay, they got better in the end.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. So that's my Sylvaneth. I've been at home as well. I'm building the spearhead at the moment for Cruel Boys because Joe and I do want to bring some pre-recorded Cruel Boys content to the channel in the distant future. Well,
specifically Cruel Boys.
I'm building Cruel Boys. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Brandon Lagacé, for one gifted membership.
Yeah, I'm building Cruel Boys.
Thank you, Kenneth Evans, becoming a scholar.
So we'd like to bring some spearhead stuff into the channel in the future, but I also want to build a wider Cruel Boys force. I just love the Tolkien vibe on those, so I'm not sure what to pick up with those yet at the moment. I'm also mega hyped for Lumineth, but I need to get my painting eye back in before I even think about tackling Lumineth. What about you? You're hyped for fucking so much, aren't you? That's the
so I've nearly got. I'm 2 model kits away from having everything from Cities of Sigmar. I need the what's it called? The guy on the
toilet.
On the toilet, oh my fucking god! I said it earlier. The guy that's on the yoga with the big gun.
The
right?
Marshal.
The Marshal, and I need Pontifex Jobby.
PayPal link in the video description below.
Not that I'll ever see it. The other one, I'm absolutely loving Soulblight Gravelords at the moment. I want to get some of the Skirgan Drew Blades. And I really want to get more Bloodborne.
Okay.
What's annoying is that the rules for the Graveguard are really good. They're a really good unit, right? There's they won a tournament this weekend, just gone, right? Already. But it's really boring. It's just loads and loads and loads of Graveguard because Graveguard have got 2 attacks. They hit on freeze, wound on freeze, but they're crit mortals. Right? But the annoying...
Sounds like your army.
Sounds like perfect. No, but it's a vampire army with like 2 vampire models in it. But what annoys me the most is that they're like a 20-year-old kit.
Yeah.
And it's like the Soulblight Gravelords have got a beautiful, stunning range of all new models. And people are going to tournaments and winning with these really old, horrible kits.
Yeah. I kind of wish, I do wish, there is a big part of me that wishes...
Pontifex Sinestra.
There is a big part of me that wishes that the Sylvaneth had more Wood Elfy type models. One of the things that I think draws me to the Lumineth so much is they have High Elfy type models.
The thing is though, isn't Sylvaneth though, all of the Dryads, all of the Spirit Revenants, all that, are Wood Elves in treaty bodies because an Ariel cut a big hole in Slaaneish's belly and sucked them all out. Sucked off Slaanesh and got all the souls out.
Maybe. I don't know. The Dryads are kind of. I mean, I've just been sent a box of 20 of them. Big shout out to Dave B for sending me a box of 20 Dryads. They're cool, but I'm more a fan of, and I'll add them to the force, but I'm more a fan of the spirits.
I know, but the thing is though, like every unit has a purpose in the game.
It does now, yeah.
Like when I was playing, I don't really like the skeletons and the zombies in Soulblight. I just want cool vampires murdering people all the time. But the good thing about Soulblight Gravelords, when your basic crap shitty unit dies, you can just bring half back.
I thought you were whinging about things just coming back to life.
Yeah, but the thing
when you could do it, it's fine.
Yeah, when I can do it with 5 skeletons, it's a bit different to when you go, oh, here's Alariel and Durfu and a Tree Lord.
Well, they only come back with 8 runes.
And then get loads back because they're stood next to a tree, just sucking off a tree, sucking all the sap out. Thank you, John McArdle. Not sure if my chat went through earlier, was on the train with shit Wi-Fi. You can keep Alan and co, though through the end of 2024, and I will be back in the fall to get my scatter die. There's a lot of narrative. BW, Rogel, and Allen.
Between.
Oh.
He was running out of characters and he didn't want to spend more. But we'll allow it because it's John. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. I love you.
Alan is in Alan Alfarius.
He said that he's going to come back every quarter, every 3 months, he said.
He can come back as often as he wants.
Yeah.
Honestly,
come back every other month.
I will make my children sleep in the garden and he can have one of their beds. I don't care.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You should kick them both into the garden, then if he gets bored in one room, he can just go into the other one halfway through the night.
Yeah. I mean, he could just have the spare room with a double bed. But if he wants to, he can sleep in the kids' cabin beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carlos Lamas. Says, I do have an issue with AoS 4.
Ban him.
You have to buy faction terrain and endless spells, both being
No, let's not start this.
being both free points wise. You are at a disadvantage if you don't have them. Right.
If you've watched Mikey's video, first thing you need to do, because that's what he said, first thing you need to do is take yourself out back and have a fucking slap yourself hard. You do not have to buy this stuff at all.
You don't.
So yes, faction terrain and endless spells are both free. And there is no reason not to buy them unless you simply can't afford them.
The thing is that you're not at a disadvantage for not buying them because there are factions that don't have faction terrain.
Well, yeah.
So the army that doesn't. Are you saying that if you play Sylvaneth, right, are you at more of a disadvantage than the Soulblight Gravelords player that doesn't have its own faction terrain?
So firstly, faction terrain's always been free. That's not new. They've always been free. It's always been free.
But Soulblight Gravelords don't have faction terrain. So am I at less of a disadvantage because I don't have it?
Faction terrain is irrelevant because it's always been free.
Yeah.
It's always been free. So that's a null point immediately, right? It's always been free. You find me a Sylvaneth player that played 3rd edition, the whole of 3rd edition doesn't have Awakened Wildwoods.
Yeah.
They'll all have them.
Yeah.
Right? It was already free. So for that, we can brush the faction terrain part to the side, completely irrelevant, already been free in the last edition.
Yeah.
And the spells are now free. And the spells in 3rd edition would cost points.
Yeah.
10, 20, 50 points, depending. And they were a great, actually, there was a great way of going, I'm almost at 2,000 points, I've got 40 points to spare, I don't want to change any of my units, I'll just buy an endless spell, there we go, I'm now at 2,000 points, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So then what I had to do, this is where I don't understand people's attitudes, then what I had to do was I had to buy this whole fucking box of endless spells so I could put that one on the table and those two stay in a box out the way. Right?
Because they just weren't as good.
Because I didn't have the points to buy all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's this way round. Maybe the next game I do that, and I do that. But I don't get to play with all 3 of them. Now, if you've bought the endless spells, you get to use all 3 of them for free. You just use them as a manifestation.
Yeah.
They're completely free. Now, if your opponent brings endless spells, if you're going to a tournament, I would suggest that you're going to buy endless spells as part of the whole owning the faction pack, right? But it is still optional. You don't have to have them. But if you're going to go to a tournament, you're probably going to take your manifestations. Manifestations aren't that broken, and they're not that ninja. They're kind of just average. So if your opponent has the extra 3 manifestations and you don't, they have a slight advantage, maybe, but they're not game-changing. And if you're not going to a tournament, if you're going to a tournament, you'll probably own them. And if you're not going to a tournament, we can try that weird, like really alien concept, talk to your opponent beforehand.
Yeah.
I don't have endless spells. Do you mind not using them? You're not a problem. Not an issue at all.
Yeah, but like...
Because we're humans and
I'd be like, you bought an endless spell, I didn't. I can get rid of your endless spell anyway.
Again, let's say you don't have that conversation, and I bring my 3 endless spells and you don't. This doesn't mean I win the game.
But what if...
It just doesn't.
But what if you play an army that has endless spells, but you don't take a wizard?
I think that's a relevant argument, Jay.
Well, yeah, but it's the same as things like, are you... All right, I haven't bought a wizard because the combination of the characters I bought is better for me. I don't own the endless spells because I can't use them, and am I now at a disadvantage?
Endless spell cost points. No, they don't.
No. I just think that argument is really...
Oh, they did cost points. Yeah, they did cost points.
But I just feel like that whole endless spells argument is really stupid.
Yeah, I saw Mikey's rhetoric.
What it is it's people that can't find a problem with something trying to find problem with something to just create drama.
By the way, Carlos, we love you, to be clear, because I know you've been in chat loads in the past as well, but I personally don't subscribe to the, if you don't have endless spells, you're at an advantage, you have to buy them rhetoric. I don't believe in that at all.
I've played 6, 7 games of AoS 4. I didn't have endless spells, and at no point did I lose the ability to roll dice and push my models around and have fun. Like, we've both played the game loads of times. We haven't had the spells. Do you think this game has been worse because we didn't have them?
No.
Did you even read up, give a shit about, or care about endless spells before?
No, I'll bring them in
this
later.
argument the
But
other day?
I'd also argue that the majority of people now, any faction they play, are not going to be upset about the fact that they're going to buy endless spells and get to use extra models for free with no real worrying about points.
We've got the General's Handbook. We haven't used
Bodyguard yet.
Bodyguards yet. Are we?
Well, we're layering it in gently.
Yeah,
but still, my point remains. Like, these are all cool models, and now in AoS 4, I get to have them for free and use all 3 of them. That's a win.
Yeah.
For 1 extra box of what is themed narrative shit to my army.
I know, but the thing is, but people are complaining that if you don't have them, that you're like they're upset that they have to spend money on things that are free. I'm like, just don't use them.
I don't know. I don't think you absolutely don't have to buy them. I would argue. Wait, you're saying that Mikey and me have the same opinion? Oh, hell no, I take it back.
Yes.
Mikey put a thing out about it recently. I love Mikey. He's here next week, actually. He's here next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he made a big thing about you have to buy the spells now. I will perhaps concede ever so slightly that you could be at a disadvantage for not having them if your opponent does have them. But it doesn't make you auto lose, and you don't have to have them.
So it's all right. The game's been out now for 3-4 days. Realistically, it's only been out for 4 days.
Yeah.
Right. We're not currently at the bleeding edge of competitive AoS.
But even then, like I stand by the fact that I get to use these now all the time, and I don't have to worry about points. And I could buy the box and use all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
It's a benefit.
They're not even that expensive. Like currently, the generic spells cost 50 quid for a load that you won't use half of. But you can use all of them. You could use one a game if you wanted to.
And as they tweak the rules, you've got.
But the problem is this mentality of go, oh, you're only going to use half of them comes from. It's not me having a go at you specifically. This is me kind of projecting into the universe. Is that
no, it's all your fault.
Is that but you can use all of that box set, right? The reason why people don't use everything that comes in the box set is because like some of them might not be the best thing in the world. Because of competitive 40k, we've kind of trained ourselves to only want to do the best, only use the best. It's like you're not having fun unless you're winning, right?
Yeah.
You're only allowed to have fun if you're pushing someone's shit in.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can just go, I've got this model, right? I've not used it in about 3 months. I'm just going to put it on the table and see what happens. Like we do that all the time with our 40k, and we still have fun.
I do sometimes think that some people want to be angry at Games Workshop. And I get it, Games Workshop are, let's be quite clear, in often the way they operate, Games Workshop are a massive pack of cunts, right? They just are. So that's not news. I've said it plenty of times. So for those that are like, you're all shills, I've said it frequently, they're a massive, the way that they behave sometimes is a massive pack of cunts. I do not genuinely believe for a moment this is, for example, okay, new Canoness. Right, for Sisters, most recent box set for 40k.
Yeah.
Can you buy her on her own yet?
No.
No, so you have to buy a £125 box just to get access to a fucking jump Canoness. And most Sisters players will have plenty of Zephyrim or Seraphim already, so it's kind of a waste, right?
Most of them would probably just repost it.
What they've done, essentially, is they've price tagged a Canoness at 125 quid. Right, that's what they've done, right? That, cunt's trick. No doubt about it. Absolutely. This, right? You buy this one box of endless spells. Most people that have already played these factions will probably own the box because at some point they would have bought one of those endless spells anyway. And so you now get to use all of them instead of one of them if you want to. And most new players coming into AoS, this is a cool piece of faction-based, like extra modelling.
If you've been playing AoS before and you're really into one specific faction, you're going to own the endless spells anyway.
Exactly, that's my point. Exactly.
Right? You're only not going to own them if you're new to that faction.
I agree.
Right? And if we were still in AoS 4, AoS 3 where you had to pay points, you'd still have to buy it anyway if you wanted to use it. I couldn't be bothered to use them in AoS 3, probably not going to be bothered to use them now. It's just extra unnecessary effort.
As a person who's been an Eldar player forever, who likes elves and magic, I will almost definitely use all the spells.
Yeah.
At some point in the future, when I finally get around to painting them in 8th edition.
Yeah.
AoS. Anyway.
Like once I've learned all the new stuff, okay, I'll try it.
Right, so there's a...
Kenneth Evans super chatted £5. It was his 10th super chat ever. Didn't say anything though.
Thanks, Kenneth. Thanks for the
Okay,
5.
you can say something if you want to.
Yeah. Anyway, you people have been amazing. Thank you for hanging out with us. This is slightly different content to normal Liam Joe Show because we didn't use the brown seats over there. I am super interested in feedback, predominantly in the comments after the video ends. There's a couple of reasons for it, right? The first main reason is if you comment on the stream after it ends, it really fucking helps the algorithm. It helps the algorithm gods, and it does push the stream out as a video on demand to other people. So big shout out, massive thank you to you wonderful people who do put comments in there. It really helps the content more than you probably know, as does liking or disliking the stream for that matter. So give it a thumbs up if you liked it. You can still dislike it if you didn't like it, and then I can just ban you. And then the other reason why it really helps is because it will give me actual chance to read through them and see the feedback and understand the feedback and see what you guys thought about this kind of content. I'm not saying every Liam Joe AoS show will be sat here, but we have 2,000 points of Stormcast, 2,000 points of Sylvaneth, 2,000 points of Soulblight, 2,000 points, we think, of Fireslayers, and that's about it, plus a few other spearheads. So using these to build shit whilst talking AoS is probably going to be really helpful for Joe and I as well.
Yeah, so obviously I've got the fleshier courts here that I've started. I've got 2,000 points of Warriors of Chaos at home. I just need to paint it. So I need to get 2 more of these in Usharan and some characters. So having the ability to sit here and actually build them would be helpful.
Yeah, actually do some building. I know it's not a lot, but it helps because it's time that we haven't got to take out of other parts of the day. So let us know in the comments whether you like having some. Last week we did some learn to play. I think like if we get like. We can, on a Tuesday, for example, you get your Slaves to Darkness ready. We could do a section on a Tuesday where we do what we did last week, but it's learn Slaves to Darkness for an hour before we then play them in the evening. Yeah. That could be super helpful. I also love the fact that it's not just us in chairs the whole time being fat fucking moany people drinking tea and
We're just standing moany people instead.
We're not. We're still on chairs. You're still sat down, Joe.
Yeah. Warriors of Chaos or Slaves to Darkness. Same thing, isn't it? Literally the same arm.
No, Warriors of Chaos, it changed towards the end of 3rd. I don't know if it's the same now. Because Warriors of Chaos was like... Well, Warriors of Chaos is now...
Slaves to Darkness.
Old World, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Warriors of Chaos is, technically, yeah. So it's Warriors... It's just generic chaos.
Say thank you to Stephen so we can
Thank you, Stephen. Says, I desperately want Endless Spells in 40k so that I can get a 3D printed Sharknado for my Caradons. I want a Sharknado roaming the battlefield, sweeping up enemies and devouring them.
It'd be cool as shit.
I mean, it would be cool, like Eldar having like cool glimmering shields in front of them and stuff.
Like an actual like force field type
and
shit.
Like Tyranids like projecting like a big wave of bugs or something, like a big wave of littler bugs.
Yeah.
Or like bringing up those big chimney tower things.
I mean, you could still use a 3D printer to make shit to represent what certain things can do. Even though Magic in 40k is now dull as shit.
40k needs more faction terrain though.
40k
That's one thing that like AoS has done really good job on. It's actually having more variety.
Before we get a faction terrain in 40k, what 40k needs is a complete fucking rules rewrite. We're not going to get it, but that's what it needs. Anywho, you guys have been amazing. Tonight at 7:30, we have another live game of 4th edition Age of Sigmar. Different armies to last week. I was worried that we might have to keep using the same armies over and over again. Joe has discovered we do have 2,000 points of Stormcast Eternals if you can cope with some of them being silver and some of them being gold. You can cope because you haven't got a choice. What you're going to probably run, we think,
is some variety of dwarf.
Is Fireslayers. We have to check we've got 2,000 points of Fireslayers, but it's looking at the moment that most things are a little bit more expensive, if anything. So we should have 2,000 points of Fireslayers as well. Yeah. So it might be Fireslayers versus Stormcast. That's this evening at 7:30. So come and hang out with us on that one. I'll be scheduling it just after we found out if we do in fact have enough dwarves or not. Tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening we have the Warhammer show. We'll talk more nonsense. Thursday we're back with Liam and Joe 40k show at 7:30, 1:30 in the afternoon, and a 40k game between Joe and Brom. So it'll probably be orcs of some kind on Thursday evening, and then Friday we're back with 40k After Dark at 8:30 for another week of 7 streams. Much fun.
There's not 7 streams next week.
Another week of 7 streams. I said this week, another week of 7 streams. Next week is 6 streams because Mikey's in the studio.
I don't listen to you.
Yeah, from Hellstorm Board Gaming. Anyway, hang on, I need to press this button before.
So we should get Elliot to come. He's fun.
You like Elliot, don't you?
I like Elliot. I spent a weekend with him.
Yeah,
Pants off.
I bet you would. Yeah, pants off, shirt off. crouched. Thank you so much for watching. Have you seen in the Fane's fitness chat, Eddie's been practicing his squats? I'm like, not surprised.
His goblin squats.
Yeah, his goblin squats. He does a lot of goblin and squatting. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, have a wonderful time.